There's WorldPlayerCasino.com. It's a superboat. Edgar Simmons, the owner. Eddie Simmons, also the driver. Brian Wickersham is the throttle man. WorldPlayerCasino.com took a fifth in Marathon, a sixth in Daytona. 30-foot superboat powered by Vortex. Factory 1 class. World Player Casino is an international online casino and sportsbook, fully licensed. World Player Casino takes you to a place where riches flow like water. It combines this atmosphere with the modern-day excitement of many casino games, as well as a comprehensive sportsbook. 30-foot superboat running well. WorldPlayerCasino.com. There's Offshore Diction on the outside and Screaming Eagle up ahead. World Player Casino on the inside as they all go around the turn. Screaming Eagle, World Player Casino. Alan Campbell and Mike Gordon on board Screaming Eagle. Driver and throttle man. World Player moving up, passing Screaming Eagle. Screaming Eagle on the outside. Alan Campbell is the driver. Mike Gordon is the throttle man. It's a Warlock Mercury powered. Screaming Eagle in Factory 1. Screaming Eagle took a fifth place in Sarasota, currently in third place in national point standings. Took a third in Milwaukee, second in Savannah, fourth in Marathon, a fifth in Daytona, and a second in St. Cloud. We're going to go with Offshore Diction now. 28-foot Warlock. Mercruiser powered. Scott Bekovich, the driver. Tom Chesley is the throttle man. Took a third place in St. Cloud. Offshore Diction at Factory 1. Sponsors include Addictive Water Sports, Midas out of Rochester, ZEI, Mr. Maintenance, and the Wish Network, also South Bay Temps, Accurate Auto Tint and Science. This is the last spot we'll be covering for you in race number 4. Of course, race 5 coming up. Offshore Addiction. Scott Bekovich and Thomas Chesley. All right, now we're going to go with race number 5, the finale, which features P3 and P4 boats. We are on the parade lap, and there you see Fortress going by, come on the inside. They're hosing down Sonic somewhat as they go around the turn. P3 and P4, we got Cancun Cantina, Team Fortress, we just saw, Team TKO, Zero Cavity, Cast-Off Racing, and Sonic Racing. Some of the competitors will be seen in race number 5, finale here in Fort Lauderdale. Boats on a parade lap, getting loose before the green. There's the offshoreonly.com pace boat. Yellow flag is out. Of course, offshoreonly.com in part sponsoring this race here in Fort Lauderdale. Special thanks to offshoreonly.com. Boats spreading out, lining up, waiting for the green. And we got a green flag now in race number 5, the finale here in Fort Lauderdale, the 2003 Fort Lauderdale Offshore Grand Prix. Everyone off to a great start here in the P3 and P4 classes. Off to the immediate lead is Cancun Cantina with Zero Cavity on the outside and Cast-Off on the far outside. All right, we're going to go now on the inside with Sonic Racing, a 35-foot Sonic. Pat DeCast, the driver. Dennis Hennessy is the throttle man. Dennis Hennessy, also the owner of Sonic Racing. They've won every race this year except Savannah. They took a third in Savannah. Currently in first place in the national point standings. Sonic Racing on the inside. There's Cast-Off right next to Sonic Racing. Sonic Racing sponsors include Sonic USA and High Performance Pleasure Boats. Let's go on board Sonic Racing. Pat Takaz and Dennis Hennessy, driver and throttle man. Pat from Mays Landing, New Jersey. Dennis from Dorothy, New Jersey. Nice driving there by Pat Takaz on throttle, Dennis Hennessy. That's our helicopter shot. Sonic Racing on the inside. Cast-Off Racing on the outside. There's Zero Cavity on the outside. There's Cast-Off Racing on the inside. And there you see Sonic Racing has missed the buoy. Is going around to do it again and get it right. We're going to go with Fortress there, Fortress Racing. Team Fortress is a Phantom. Mark Slade is the driver, and Tyler Crocker is the throttle man. Driver and throttle man on board Team Fortress. Brand new boat for this year, Team Fortress. Sponsors include BCI Engineered Metal Products, DMC Machining, Flight Components, Industrial Automation, and Tyler Crockett Marine Engines. Special thanks to the wives, Lisa Barron, Lisa Slater, and Kim Crockett. Also the children, Elizabeth, PJ, Shara, and Michaela Barron, Casey, Ryan, Kyle, and Lawrence Slater, and Jared and Kelsey Crockett. Also special thanks to Tyler Crockett for becoming the engine builder, rigger, instructor, and throttleman. And a thanks to Bruce Barron for his major involvement, and Bruce Barron's family and their gracious hospitality. This is a brand new boat for 2003. Prix Video Productions. I'd like to wish them the best of luck for the season. Team Fortress smoking around the course. Sonic Racing trying to make up a lot of distance after missing the buoy just a few minutes earlier. Pat Takas and Dennis Hennessy on board Sonic Racing, driver and throttleman. Around the turn. Nice throttling there by Dennis Hennessy. Mercury powered. On board, Sonic Racing. Back to helicopter shot, Sonic Racing. There's White Typhoon. It's a Rheinville Powerboat. Bertel Schmidt is the driver from Clog, New York. White Typhoon. Now, Randy Schluss supposed to be in the boat, but he didn't make it. And you're not supposed to have less than 2 people in the boat. So Bertel Schmidt is the only person there, and it looks like it very well could get disqualified. White Typhoon. But right now, we're going to go with this Rheinville Powerboat with Bertel Schmidt. You're watching race number 5, the finale here of the 2003 Fort Lauderdale Offshore Grand Prix. On board the driver, Randy Schloosnick. All right, now let's go with American Express, another ride with Powerboat. Mike Emerson, the driver. Robert Goodwin is the throttle man. Mike from Worthington, Ohio. Robert from Fort Thomas, Kentucky. Currently in second place in points, national point standings. Took a first place in Sarasota. Nice throttling there by Robert Goodwin. Cancun Cantina, another brand new boat for this 2003 racing season. It's a Formula. John Schnorski is the driver, Jason Moffat the throttle man. Sponsors include Tony Toskoff of Cancun Cantina in Hanover, Maryland, Duke Henderson of Mr. Tire in Waldorf, Maryland, and Dan Fellner of Formula Racing. Freeze Frame Video Productions, of course, wishes this team the best of luck in the 2003 racing season. Cancun Cantina, currently in first place in Prix. In second place is Team Fortress, and in third, Team TKO. John Trotsky and Jason Moffitt, driver and throttleman. John from Pomfret, Maryland. Jason from Port Tobacco, Maryland. All right, we're going to take Sonic Racing to the finish line right now on board Sonic Racing with Pat Takaz and Dennis Hennessy, and they are in first place in P4. They made up all that ground after missing the buoy and having had to turn around and do it right. Great comeback by Sonic Racing team. Sonic Racing, if they win this one, they will have won every race this year except Savannah. All right, Sonic Racing coming in first place in class in P4. Pat Takaz and Dennis Hennessy congratulating each other on a job well done. That means they have won every race this year except Savannah. Great season so far for Sonic Racing. Very shortly, we will have the final results for you in races 3, 4, and 5. And there they are, getting the checkered flag. Pat Takaz and Dennis Hennessy. There's the flag being waved. Great comeback of the Sonic Racing team after missing that buoy. All right, very shortly we'll have the final results in 3, 4, and 5 for you. Here in Fort Lauderdale, 6th national stop for the APBA. All right, there you see some of the Fort Lauderdale coastline. Beautiful Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Great place for a race. We're losing a lot of daylight quickly because this was the 5th and final race. We had 5 races today. Very busy day. A lot of people have packed up and gone home for the day, you can see. And we'll have the final results in Super V Light Factory 1, and the P classes. All right, in Super V, it's Team Donzi in first place, followed by H&H Speed and Marina and Fury bringing up 3rd place. Team Donzi getting the checkered flag in Super V. In Super V Light, it's Vortec Extreme, followed by High Noon Racing and Hedrick Motorsports. Vortec Extreme in first place in Super V Light class. In Factory 2, it was A.R. Donzi in first, Snap-on Talk and Tools in second, Harwich Concrete in 3rd place. In Factory 1 class, Typhoon getting the checkered flag, World Player Casino and Winnebago Tied for second place. Winnebago had stopped for an accident. As a result, World Player and Winnebago tied for second place. Typhoon, though, getting the checkered flag. In Outlaw P2 class, ATC Racing at first, followed by Broward HomeInfo.com in second. ATC on top in P2. P3, Cancun Cantina, brand new boat, getting the checkered flag, followed by Fortress Offshore and Team TKO Racing in third. Cancun Cantina, your winner in P3. In P4, Sonic Racing, we just saw getting the checkered flag in first place, followed by Cast Off Racing and Zero Cavity. Sonic in first in P4. And in the One Design class, American Express in first, followed by Empire Events and Premier Performance in third place. American Express getting the checkered flag in the One Design class. So those are the results for races 3, 4, and 5 today. And now we'd like to give you the national standings in those respective classes. First off, in Super V, Team Donzi in first, followed by Ettore Squeegee and Spider-Man and its Castaway. In Super V Light, Vortec Extreme is on top, followed by High Noon Racing, Screamin' Nuts, and Way Too Crazy, PokerRun.com. In Factory 1, Winnebago, then Typhoon, Screamin' Eagle, and WorldPlayerCasino.com. Factory 2, Snap-on Talking Tools, your leader, followed by Harwich Concrete Block, AR Donzi, and Let's Play Racing. In Outlaw Performance 2, Advanced Transmission Center, Kinetic Animation, Obsession, and Daytona Performance Marine. In P4, Sonic Racing, Just Prey Racing, Revolution Marine, and Chief Engines. And the One Design class, Premier Performance in first place, followed by American Express and Caballero Motorsports. And those are your national point standings for these respective classes after today's race. Now, before we go, there are a few people that we would like to thank. First off, OffshoreOnly.com for helping to, in part, sponsor this race here in Fort Lauderdale. Also, of course, special thanks to the entire staff of the APBA for orchestrating this event. Gary and Nancy Johnson for their fine camera work. Mr. Russell Kilpatrick, our helicopter pilot, and a special thanks to Mr. Jimmy Fisher for helping us out with our onboard cameras. So on behalf of Jeff Girardi and the rest of the Freeze Frame video production crew, this is Vince Lipari wishing you a fond farewell from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Hoping to see you in a couple of weeks for the National Championships in Tampa. Bye, everyone.